Hi folks, hope you're doing well today. So no trade today, just watching pretty much, and was looking for a trade in the morning, and I guess I failed to give the benefit of the doubt to the bulls because they're clearly holding up well. They're holding the bids, everything's kind of flowing in their direction, and it makes sense actually because if you zoom out onto the larger time frame, let's say a 6-hour chart on the Qs here, you can see that we're looking for some sort of lower high to form. And while people are trying to short into a lower high, all that they do is they keep holding the bid and supporting it and pushing it up and pushing it up and pushing it up. And eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if we just end up coming up here and breaking these highs and shaking out anybody who's trying to short into this as being a lower high. So that's just a psychological analysis of it. I might be wrong, but it's just a way of thinking about it. So if we look at the price action of today, you can see that we initially moved higher and we held the high of yesterday, which was that 212 area, 212.35. We pushed above it, then we came down and held again, 212.50 was the held bid there, and then we just chopped around here, but there was no high volume in any of this. So while the bid was holding, the volume was quite weak. So generally, when you're reading the tape, you want to look for a held bid with some volume behind it. But obviously, we know from past market experience that the bulls don't need volume really to go up. The bears do need volume. So if you see a held bid and then the bid drops and you see bears coming in, bear volume, then that's a red flag and that's a sign you want to probably get short. But if you see a held bid and the bid just continues to hold, so basically this is the thing, you're watching the tape and you're looking at it, it's 212.50 and it just keeps, it might try to go lower. You can see the low was approximately 212.48. Okay, it held 212.50. You get that refresh where the bid will drop, then it'll refresh. The bid will drop maybe by 10 cents max, then it'll refresh again. And I saw that happen at least 20 times on the 213 handle on Qs. And basically, well, the bulls won. And it makes sense too. Like if you understand, you have to understand the psychological picture of the market as well as the price action behind it, okay? So we didn't get much of a move, but if you shorted puts around this 213, you could have got at least a point out of this. And same with the spiders here. If you shorted the puts right around the 281, I was looking to short the 280s and we moved all the way up to 284 here. You can see that XLF moved up, down, and then we came up and eventually broke above the range here. So market is in favor of the bulls, definitely. And I think that we should continue to give favor to the bulls until we see bear volume coming in, because we know that the bears need volume. Every time the price drops, you see there's a lot of volume behind it. But when we go up, we tend to go up nice and slowly, stair-stepping. So while these people, these fundamental bears are coming in and trying to short this market and saying, oh no, everything's bad, coronavirus, businesses are going out of business, market's just going one direction, straight up. All right, so until people start to realize that, market's just going to keep going straight up, and then eventually it will reach a point where no one will be left to sell, so there'll be no reason for them to push it up higher anymore, and then they'll have to go down and seek the liquidity. I don't know. It's just, I guess after watching markets for a little while, you kind of start to get the picture of how they take everyone's money, so you kind of have to learn the Wall Street games they're playing here. I thought I would dedicate this video to just analyzing some of that price action. So, look, 5-minute uptrend is very much intact on the S&P here. So until we lose the 5-minute uptrend, we're not looking bearish yet, okay? So if you look at that hourly chart, you can see we're clearly in an hourly uptrend, and we're looking for some sort of lower high on the larger term time frame. If we move up here and start losing the trend and start seeing some volume, then it might make sense that we could see that a lower high would be set. But I'll continue looking bullish as long as these bids are holding, guys. So that's pretty much about it. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Apple had a nice bullish day today. You can see where we pushed up in the morning, came up, held 278, and then pushed up higher slowly. We had this second leg bull, and it was kind of in disguise. The market it does this rotation thing, and that's why you kind of have to keep an eye on the different sectors. So last week it was Amazon, and then today it's Apple. Even IWM is doing pretty well today. You can see IWM is just flying up today. We had this up move, held the moving average, that 120-ish. Tried to move lower, but you can see that move lower. This was a correlated move on every sector. I was watching this right here, and you can see that that volume was just light. So that might have trapped some bears. It might have trapped some bulls. we don't know. But you can see that after that light volume push, and then we just continued to grind in the direction of the trend, broke the highs, squeezed out any shorts, and continued to squeeze shorts here. So IWM is very strong today, one of the stronger names. Apple, one of the stronger names on the radar too. That 280 area, 280 was a held offer right around here, and you can see there was a lot of volume on that held offer, but then we pulled back, couldn't push below 279, and then the held offer lifted, of course, and we moved higher up to 281.50. So Apple would have been a nice long today in hindsight, of course. But yeah, I've been so used to trading the spider options and the Qs, so that I've forgotten that I could trade these other names too. So generally, what I trade is like a basket of 3 to 5 names max, and I'm trying to just focus on that. You know, trade the S&Ps, trade the Nasdaq, trade Apple, maybe IWM, Facebook, Roku, that kind of stuff, you know. All right, guys, so I'm gonna leave it there for today. If you appreciate this video, please give it a thumbs up. And there was no Easter egg today, but if you didn't find it yesterday, all I did was write Easter egg over there. So, all right, take care. Have a nice one. Ciao.